Ah, bonsoir. Allô, je m'appelle Alexis Comte de Tocqueville, but you may call me Alexis or Tocqueville. So, you have come to learn about me, my work, my life, and you are all together. You are part of an association. United Way, is it? Yes, I very much like that name. And I very much like l'association. And you are from America. I have been to America. What part of America are you from? Alabama. I have been to Alabama. I learned much there. I learned how a republic manages democracy and how l'association is a vital part of maintaining and growing democracy. I have been to Alabama. Let's start there. I visited America in 1831. I was just 26 years old. I told my government that I wanted to go to observe the American penal system to see what lessons that France could learn to reform our own. That was, of course, a ruse. Vraiment, truly, I tricked my government. What I really wanted to see was how this new young republic had fared and grown since its tumultuous revolution. After all, my own republic was quite young at the time. I had seen the road to philanthropy, and I learned that America had seen it as well in the most marvelously impressive way. I arrived in America in 1831 with mon ami, my good friend, Gustave de Beaumont. Beaumont was highly intelligent and très amical, very friendly. We sailed from Le Havre, France, to Newport, Rhode Island, to begin to investigate how this new republic had healed and grown since its tumultuous revolution, not unlike France that was still healing and growing from its own, well, shall we say, internal strife. Beaumont and I visited 21 out of the 24 states, several territories, and Canada. We crossed the frozen Allegheny Mountains, went down the Ohio River until we reached Cincinnati, where it was frozen solid. There, we boarded a wagon to Memphis, went down the incroyable Mississippi until we found ourselves New Year's Day, 1832, in the city of New Orleans, founded by les Français. The entire city seemed to be under a hangover from the revelries of the night before. 9 months after departing Le Havre and 2 weeks behind schedule, we set sail for Alabama, arriving in a harbor in Mobile Bay on January 4th, 1832. Mobile was a booming metropolis of 3,200 and the center of Alabama's winter society. It was apparent that Mobile was the commercial center of Alabama. When a fire broke out and destroyed the city center, the cotton trade paid for its new brick buildings and more. However, lodgings for visitors were far and few between. This meant that we would press onward to Washington, D.C. The new railroad was still 6 months away from opening. This also meant we would travel along Alabama's Federal Road. But first, we traveled by small boat through the narrows and upper reaches of Mobile Bay until we came to the tiny village of Blakely. Once there, we boarded a stage to Montgomery, and with several other fellow travelers, we began our overland journey across Alabama. A group of young entrepreneurs operated the stage lines, and although very practical, it was not the most comfortable way to traverse the state. The road was pitted and rutted, a slow and painful ride. We bumped and rattled along day and night, 192 miles through to Montgomery, through thick forest of massive pine, oak, and hickory, through swampy bogs, sandy morasses, and over perilous bridges and causeways. We saw wild turkey, deer, black bears, rattlesnakes, and panthers. At night, we slept on the stagecoach benches or on corn fodder piled upon the floor. Oh, mon Dieu, not at all comfortable. Beaumont's loquaciousness turned out to be quite useful. Before long, he had engaged himself with a young Alabamian, a lawyer like us, whose name I have forgotten, otherwise was very obscure, but nevertheless, I felt myself drawn into conversation with the Alabamian, and our conversation was stamped with much good practical sense, and it is corroborated through subsequent information about my journeys through to Washington. Perhaps not surprisingly, our conversation quickly turned to politics. There was a desperate need in Alabama and in states across the Southwest for attorneys skilled in defending the innocent and prosecuting the guilty. An excerpt of our conversation. Our magistrates are completely incompetent, puffed the lawyer. The mass of the people feel it as we do, so no one is disposed to seek after regular justice. This state of affairs, which is commonplace to Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, and even Georgia, is the chief factor in these fierce manners for which these people have been so justly blamed. Well, is it true, then, that the people of Alabama are as violent as has been said? I asked the attorney. Yes, he answered simply. There is no one here but what carries arms under his clothing. Given the slightest quarrel, knife or pistol comes to hand. It is a semi-barbarous state of society. But if a man is killed like that, is not his assassin punished? I challenged. Well, he will always go to trial, but he will always be acquitted, he explained, unless the circumstances are especially aggravating. I have never seen in my time a single man who was a little known pay for his life for such a crime. This violence has become accepted, he explained. Each juror, upon leaving the court, places himself in the position of the accused, and so he acquits. And besides, he admitted, I have in my time been no better than another man. Look at these scars that run across my head. These are knife blows that have been given me. Beaumont and I leaned forward to examine the young lawyer's scalp. 4 or 5 trench-like scars ran through his hair. But did you go to the law? I asked. Oh, God, no, he responded. I tried to give as good in return. That was sobering. Beaumont and I sat in awkward silence, wondering if we had perhaps been too quick with our newfound acquaintance. But, naturally, curiosity won the day, and our questions began again, although this time on a much less violent topic. Do the people usually choose good representation? I asked. No. In general, they pick people on their level who flatter them. The attorney scoffed. I predict that in France, too, you may not be able to stop yourselves indefinitely, he warned. But from such bad choices do not come bad laws and therefore bad government, I queried. Not as much as one would think upon first glance, he answered. There have always been men of great talent in our assembly. From the very first days, they overwhelmed the others and absolutely dominated the business. It is they who make and discuss the laws. The rest vote as they do. We have had representatives who could neither read nor write. Our education is much neglected, he continued. This is because we have no regular school system. 1/3 of our population cannot even read. Little care is given for the state of our society, and little thought for its future. Much to think about indeed. As we drew nearer Montgomery, we began to see more and more settlers along the road, enterprising proprietors of inns and roadside taverns along the road from Burnt Corn, Greenville, and Snowdon. And as we dined on the tavern's pork, hominy, and cornbread, we conversed about the great potential of this new American nation and how good people will find each other to do good. In the United States, when 2 or more of its inhabitants share an idea or an opinion they wish to promote in society, they seek each other out and become united upon that meeting. And from that moment, they are no longer isolated, but have become a power seen from afar, whose activities must be acknowledged and whose words must be heeded. I was enamored by the Americans' ability to form associations of all types, both professional, social, civil, and political. A few decades after Beaumont and I returned to France, we learned that the stagecoach operators, the innkeepers, the tavern keepers, even the lawyers, all created associations to better improve the means and opportunities for themselves, their colleagues, and their communities. And thank God, a group of highly intelligent individuals created an association to improve the roads in Alabama. In my 9 months in America, I learned that the only way that opinions and ideas can be renewed, hearts enlarged, and minds developed is through the reciprocal influence of men and women upon each other. I have seen Americans make a great deal of real sacrifices to the public welfare and can think of at least 100 instances in which these people have never failed to support one another. I am honored that you would include me and the philanthropy which I deem to be so integral to our society's survival as a part of United Way's effort to advance the common good. I applaud you and United Way for working together to build better, more equitable communities where everyone can thrive. You have truly found and followed the road to philanthropy. Merci. And vive l'association!